used to annoy me infinitely. Players pile shuffling, but now it's like a calming ritual before the game. Something where you can either chat to the other player or try and ignore him completely. But it's nice. Yeah, take your time, my friend. Pile shuffle. Randomize your deck sufficiently. It's okay. I also quite enjoy seeing the looks of frustration on players' faces when you slowly pile out your deck and it's been a long game one. But you've got the 3 minutes in mind, so you're just using the maximum amount of time you're allowed to. Helman not happy with that hand at all. Just a little grunt of disgust from him. Ruaan doesn't look like he's gonna get rid of that. I see that white border in his hand looks like a blood moon, and that's a steam vents in front. So he needs a ritual of some sort. And yeah, that looks like a ritual. I think. No. Whatever. If it is indeed one, then that's gonna be a turn 2 blood moon, which is devastating for the junk player. I mean the Abzan player. Sorry. Junk midrange. Abzan midrange. Abzan. Helman's gonna go to 6. Hopefully it's a good 6. He really just needs a disruption spell. Maybe one piece of removal and a fat creature, and he can totally win this. He leads with a Stirring Wildwood. That's a manland, which gets turned off by Blood Moon, unfortunately. He takes shock, goes to 18. Playing Voice of Resurgence. Good guy. Everyone breaking that fetch down at the end of his turn, going down to 19 points of life, fetching a Steam Vents. It's his turn, grabs a card. Looks like an Ascension. He takes 2, he goes to 17. Jams Ritual, and that's a turn 2 Blood Moon. Fortunately, Helman has a creature down, but look at that, he's just dead still. Blood Moon, so rough right now. Turning off his mana complete, just wrecking the mana base. Such a good card. I mean, Ruaan did spend an extra card getting it out, but it is that powerful and just worth it. Voices Resurgence crashing in. Taking Ruaan down to 15 points of life. Tectonic Edge actually just a mountain. Ruaan plays Metamorphose. He adds 2. 2 blue. He casts Serum Visions on top of that, but Helman seems to have a response. It's a Surgical Extraction, which he's paid 2 life for. And he's targeted Metamorphose. So, Serum Visions on the stack. Ruaan has 1 blue mana floating from his Metamorphose, and Helman is picking through his library to take out all the Metamorphoses, reveals his hand, sees another Blood Moon, 2 Past and Flames, and a Goblin Electromancer, which he can't cast because he's got no blue mana. Although he can, he's got a floating blue mana. And he's also got a card to draw from that Serum Visions. Extraction pretty good, actually. So it's a good idea to put that in. Blood Moon's still doing a number here. I didn't see what Ruaan drew there. It's another land, Shivan Reef. So he's got the red mana. He can tap it, use the Blood Moon land thing vibe, play the Electromancer. Helman's only choice is to go smashing, but it is smashing in with the angry deer goat leafy elemental guy. Ruaan dropping to 13. he should go to 13 here. No. What's happening? He goes to 15. He was on 17. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. I must have lost track of life totals. Don't listen to what I say, the life totals are. Just look at the totals at the bottom of the screen. Those are correct. I'm just yammering about what's going on board. Smash, smash! Voice of Resurgence. Beating in. But he returns the favor with Electromancer, also a bear, actually. Just pounding back for 2 points of damage. Helman, having paid 4 life already and taken 2 damage from that Electromancer attacking, I think he's on 14 points of life. Voice of Resurgence relentlessly attacking. It seems to be Helman's only option. Passes turn. Are we just gonna see some bears beating at each other here? Ruaan probes for life. Going quite low. I think that's a Path to Exile, a Siege Rhino, and a Corsa. The Path to Exile might be useful, getting him another basic land. I didn't pay attention to the rest of the hand, that was quite quick. Although he just needed to see it. You're just chilling out there. Path to Exile, end of turn. He thought he was targeting the Electromancer, but actually it's his Voice of Resurgence. Yeah, I think he's gonna go fetch a basic land. It's a mountain. I mean, it's a forest. Yeah, forest. That might help out. You might be able to cast a spell now. Ruaan's still sitting with all mountains. I bet he would have loved to fetch a basic island off of that Path to Exile. But Helman untaps with a green or white and 3 mountains. Smiter! Smite me, oh mighty smiter. I do think that is a large amount of pressure right now, since Ruaan is on 9 or 10 points of life. He's very low. He's going to be forced to block. And Electromancer is making the spells cheaper. Discarding a Gitaxian Probe off that Desperate Ravings that he cast for 1 mana. He plays a Flooded Strand, which is actually just a mountain. Helman eagerly untap upkeep, draw smash, and it's a Voice of Resurgence. Up to block, protect his life total, leave behind a guy if it does die. This is looking a lot better for him, actually. Ruaan only on 5 points of life. I think he's got to go off here. Helman feeling a lot better about this situation, definitely. But I think he's going to try and go for it. So he goes, cast Desperate Ritual, float 3. Ruaan on 5 points of life here. Not really able to spend too much for the Phyrexian mana if he does get Gitaxian Probes. And he's got Probes in the graveyard. So he casts Past in Flames, costing him 3 mana because of the Electromancer. It resolves, and everything in his graveyard now has flashback. Get Probe for 2 life. Yeah, I think he's just gonna go for it here again. We're gonna see a Storm Kill. That's a Siege Rhino and a Corsa. Maybe an Unoffensive. I can't see the bottom card. But I doubt that it's relevant because I don't think Helman is gonna get another turn. Unless it's an Empty the Warren. He may just have drawn an Empty the Warrens there. So if he can storm up to 3, he'd have sufficient blockers to protect his life total for a few turns. But he also can't afford to do that, because if Helman draws a black source and he passes turn back, Siege Rhino is just going to end him from the ETB trigger. So he's going for it. He flashes back another ritual. Costs him 1 mana because of the Electromancer. He's got a fair amount of floating red, with no way to produce blue outside of finding another Manamorphose. But those have been extracted from his deck now, I think. And so his blue sources are severely limited. But he's cast his Empty the Warrens for 7. Stormcard is 6, Empty the Warrens being the 7th copy. And that's enough to attack through whatever Helman has on board. If he doesn't draw a black source, he's going to die next turn from a goblin attack. Looking quite grim. Helman nearly pulling back into control of this game, but Empty the Warrens just pooping out annoying little goblins in a large number. Don't cost the Desperate Ravings here. He's still trying to go off, but I don't think it's going to be necessary here. Helman needs to find a swamp so badly. Yeah, this is no good for him. 3 red mana, or whatever. Those are mountains being tapped. It's another Blood Moon. Maybe protecting himself from some sort of enchantment hit like an erase. But if that's not a swamp, then yep, that's the game. He didn't draw a black source, he can't play Rhino. 14 goblins, good enough to kill him. Blood Moon wrecking mana bases. Even though he took out the Manamorphoses, Blood Moon's still doing really good work. Yeah, he brought in some enchantment hit and a surgical extraction, so Golgari Charm extraction. It would have helped against the goblins as well. Golgari Charm definitely was a great card to draw. Unfortunately, he didn't have the black to play it. Ruaan put in two Empty the Warrens, 3 Blood Moons, and that definitely won the game there. Well played.